So let's begin our journey today from down there. So you're seeing there's two guys who are shoveling the sand, which they would then take around to where the concrete mixer is. And then there's also two guys who are, shoveling stones. And again, it will go to where the concrete mixer is. And then they're going to, mix it up and then get it poured, or they will put it on top of that machine, of that thing over there, and then the concrete will then be poured into or onto the top. Okay. So that's the concrete mixer down there. That is bringing everything up. Okay. It's being mixed down there. Then it is pulled up. And the guys have done a good job. They've cleared the place for me. I want to start, seeing the place for exactly what it is. And if you're wondering why the perimeter of the fence, why it's being dug, I don't want to have an issue with damp. You see a lot of buildings in Ghana that has the damp issue. You see damp rising from the foundation, or from the block work that goes into the ground. As time goes on, there's water in the ground. So I want to make sure that I protect the walls. So I did it for the foundation of the main house, where I used bitumen paint. If you watch my old videos, you will notice that I made them paint the inside and the outside, with bitumen paint. So basically it's like tar paint. And that is to prevent water from rising. I did some research, and I also found out that there's something called a French drain that I'm also looking to do. I want to get a French drain done so that any time there's water, it will be channeled away from the building. So that's also a plan that I have. So for today, I've just got the concrete mixer that is working, and where the concrete is being transported to the top, and how we are trusting that this work will be done, and then we will then move to the next stage. I'm looking to, as you've seen, the electrician has also done a very good job, with the connections that he's done here. So you've seen all the conduit pipes running through. So there's screeding that needs to be done, and my plan is to get this screeding done as soon as they've done the concrete. So what will happen is that I'm gonna talk to my mason, and then from Monday they're gonna have to come in and start the screeding at this particular juncture. These iron rods are going to be cut, because there's nothing else that's going to come up in terms of the structure. Okay, so I'm looking to get the screeding done here, and then it has to be, at an angle so that it will, not contain water. So the water will be, channeled to the back. So we'll do some, good plumbing work so that the water doesn't stay here and eat into the building. So the screeding and then the plastering of this part is also going to be done. And this, coping is also going to be smoothing. The mason up there, so far, I've enjoyed his work, I must say. He doesn't charge too much, if I let him know what my budget is, he's, willing to work within the budget. I started with one set of masons and laborers, and the leader, the mason, I realized that he wasn't really experienced. He wasn't really going to be able to get this building done. So I realized that I had to change him. So that was the first mason. So he did the fence wall. And I realized at that time, that is where I'm going to talk about some of my challenges when I started this project. I came from London and I didn't have any idea about the dishonesty. So what happened was that at the beginning, when they were constructing this fence wall, I would come here, but not that often. You thought, okay, I'm paying them, I bought the cement and everything that they use, so surely they will do the work. So we had a neighbor who was also from the UK, is from the UK, and he set a trap for them. So he told the guys, the masons, that he wanted to buy cement. And the mason told him, don't worry, I'll get you some cement. So what happened was that it was our cement that was, taken by the mason and sold to him. So he called us up and said, listen, bro, are you guys aware of what is going on at your site? I said, what's going on? He said, well, I've just bought cement from your mason. And if I showed you the pillars that will hold the gate, you will literally hold it with your hands and it will be peeling, meaning that there wasn't enough cement that was being used for it. There wasn't enough cement that was going into it. So we realized that they were being dishonest. So after the fence wall, we got rid of them. After the fence wall, I got rid of them, and I decided to not use them anymore. I got a second group of masons that came on. So their leader, once again, he started off well, but then I guess because I started paying attention to him, I realized that maybe again he wasn't being honest when it came to the charge. You make an agreement with him, and then by the time you realize it, he has changed the goalpost, so to speak. And so when I realized that one time, I have evidence on my phone when we were doing the flow, this particular one, when I brought in the pre-mixed concrete, I realized that he charged me for using 11 workers. It was my driver who alerted me to the fact that there was only 7 of them. And we counted them on the video, and they were 7. But he took money for 11 people. I think it was 11 or 13. So I called him out on it. And I made up in my mind that, I cannot have such a person working on my site. And so when it got to the plastering, I had asked him to give me a quote or an estimate. And he came up with a ridiculous price, I think about 30,000 or 40,000. I said, you're crazy. How much materials am I buying for me to come and pay you that kind of amount as, labor? So my steel bender, said to me, I shouldn't worry. He will, he will get me, another good guy. So that's when this guy came up. Hey, careful. Oh. But Philip, carpenter no ever. Don't think I say money. I think one more. Eh? Also more one more. Yeah, who you flow now? Say carpenter on what side? Oh, to be near. Oh, see, this kind of work, the carpenters should be on the side so that you see where the some of it is the gap that has been created. They can nail it together, but they are not here. So if there's an issue carpentry wise, there's nobody to to rectify it. That's no good. That's no good. That's not good. Let me try and see if I can get a better angle for you. So going back to the mason, so he was actually being very disrespectful at one point, and I was setting up for the police to arrest him, but I just allowed him, and lately he's been calling me every day, begging me. I told him that after disrespecting me, you want me to give you a job, he calls me almost every day. Every day. Every day. He calls me almost every day. So I'm very impressed with this mason. He's giving me a charge, a bill for the rest of the plastering, how much it's going to cost me. So I've told him that no problem, we can work with that. I'm the type that I don't like to bargain because I want you to do a good work. I know that they also have families to feed and, they have bills to pay. So I don't like to bargain too much with them because I realize that, sometimes when you bargain too much with them, They will still maybe tell, oh, your boss, I will do it, but they will not do it wholeheartedly. So, I'm not saying that I allow them to take advantage, no. But, I also make sure that I don't, take the price so down. Right now, a mason on average will charge you 120 or 150 per day. If the mason is taking 150, then the labor will take 120, or you can tell the mason that, listen, I will give you your 150, but I'm only going to pay your laborers 100 down. You know what I'm saying? So you can talk to, especially if the mason is good. You can, you can work with them, to make sure that, if they are happy, trust me, they'll do a good job for you, because this is my philosophy. You see, they can come in and do shoddy work for you, and they will keep quiet and go. And then later on, when you move into the house, guess what you're going to do? You're going to have problems. By that time they've moved on. You might even call them, they'll not mind you, because they know the work that they've done. They know that they did shoddy work, so they'll not pick up your call. Then you have to go and pay, another mason who's going to come in and tell you all kinds of stories, that you have to break this down, and it's just going to be a hassle. So I prefer not to argue with nobody when it comes to, cost. Once I know what I've made up in my mind I'm going to pay, like yesterday when I went to the site for, I went to a place to buy the doors. And I've done my research, and I know that when it comes to doors, I think Mazonia wood, I've watched other colleagues from the diaspora who are building. And I'm told that Mazonia is the best wood. But here is it that when I went to the timber market yesterday, at Ashaiman, the man was telling me that mahogany, Udu mahogany. I said, I've never heard mahogany. I said, what is the best doors that you have? Then he said, then my carpenter said, Mazonia. I said, well, I'm not here to buy cheap things, so don't sell me anything cheap. So he then said, you can use the Mazonia for the outside, the main door. But then you can buy the mahogany or the red wood. I said, listen, I want everything to be uniform. I want to have the best. So as I was talking, he said, well, he was thinking that, I said, I'm not here to save money. I'm not here to save money. I'm not here to bargain. What is the price? He mentioned the Mazonia 650. I said, no problem. Give me the amount that the carpenter needs. So that is what, I like to do. I think I've spent a lot of money, with the framework, as I call it, with this house. That it would be a shame to now do things cheap, So I'm not into doing things cheap. I want to get it done. So sometimes I will wait for months to get my money before I'll come on site. So this is the concrete mixer doing the work. I don't know. You see this container that the boy is sitting on? So that is the what do you call it? That is the paint, that I use for the foundation. It's the brand. Okay, that's what I use for the foundation to get the damp, away from the building. So this is the work that is going on today, and I'm grateful to God. Please, I hope you don't get tired of me talking about God. God has been so good to me. God has been so good to my family. God has been so good to my house. When the Bible says, except the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain, those that build. When there are people who are living in mansions or who build mansions, but there's no happiness in the mansion. Some have started projects. For those of you in Ghana, you will notice that I always say that there's a lot of uncompleted projects in the country. Do you know why? Because most of the times, the people start off very well. They start off very well. But somewhere along the line, maybe money will run out. Maybe there'll be an attack. Their finances. And then you see that the project will stall. So if God doesn't, strengthen you, if God doesn't guide you, I don't believe that you can start something and finish it. I've been on this journey for, I think about 2 years now. By the grace of God, in the midst of COVID, in the midst of economic downturn, in the midst of everything, prices going up. Cement was about 42, 45 when I started. Now cement is 80, 82, 85, and even 100. That's how much cement is costing right now. But by the grace of God, this project has not stalled. By the grace of God, this project has not ceased. It doesn't matter what any wicked voice or any evil eye will try to do. What God has started with you, I promise you, you will finish it. Amen? You will finish it. What God has started with you, you will finish it. There is There is no devil in hell. There is no devil. There is no devil who can deny you what is yours. There is no devil who can mess with you. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to maintain your focus. I want you to believe that you can do it. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you can do it. I'm looking at getting some of the cables for the house. But one thing I'm going to do is that I'm not going to put in the cables yet because they steal the cables. They steal the cables. So I'll buy them and keep them at home. I've had a bill for the windows. I'm using this company called Hands. I'll talk about that maybe in my next video. And the quotation and what I need to do. And I told you yesterday about 5 of the doors have been bought. So this one that you're looking at, I've bought the door because I want to secure this place. So 1, 2, 3 doors have been bought. And then the main entrance and then the back, the kitchen. I want to finally start securing the place so that it will look like a house. This is my steel bender. He's very good. He also acts as my caretaker. He looks after this place for me. And he doesn't take any money from me. When he is dry, then you come and say, boss, and then the crowd once in a while. He has helped me a great deal. He has saved me a lot of money when it comes to the blocks. At one point, I was buying blocks from, opposite. And he called me up and said, boss, I've seen the blocks that they've done. It's not quality. So please, let's not buy from them. Then he went to, down the road, I would say, that school junction side. And he told me that there's this Turkish company. Their blocks are very strong. So I should buy it from there. And he negotiated the price, brought it down. After I told them, or after I'd agreed how much I was going to pay, he said, no, boss, pay this amount. And that's exactly what I paid. So he saved us a lot. He saved me a lot of money. He saved me a lot of money. My poly tank, the 5,000 liters that you see down there, is it 5,000 or 10,000 liters? Thieves had come in one night to come and, steal it. So they were emptying the water. So you see, this is where my poly tank used to be. This is where the poly tank used to be. And they were emptying it so that they can take the poly tank away. He lives, he lives, in this house. And he felt led, and I believe it was God, to come in here in the dark of the night. And as soon as he opened the gate, they scattered. They were getting ready to steal my poly tank. But he managed to get here right on time to deny them that opportunity. And so, he's been very good. He's very good at, still bending. He's very good, very knowledgeable. And he organizes the guys to make sure that, the work is done. And, I'll tell him, listen, I don't want this, I don't want that. And he gets it done. When the quotation comes in and let's say they want 50 bags of cement, they say, but let's buy 20. At the end of the day, it's only cement. You can always buy more as and when they need it. So he's been very, very good. So I just wanna encourage you. I just wanna let you know that believe in God, trust in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. Have a wonderful day. God richly bless you.